EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Martich here with your outlook for January 17th, 2025. The Friday video forecast is proudly sponsored by McCall Collective Brewing. McCall is a family-owned and operated brewery with 2 locations in the Lehigh Valley. Their original Southside Allentown location is at 102 East Susquehanna Street, and their second location, McCall Collective Tap House in Trexlertown, is located at 7743 Hamilton Boulevard. Both locations are open 7 days a week, have a full food menu, plenty of beer to choose from for both dine-in or takeout, along with local wine and cocktails. Their flagship IPA Lehigh series is back, which is a 7% New England-style IPA with Citra, Mosaic, and El Dorado hops, along with variations Little Lehigh, which is the session IPA and at 4.5%, and Triple High, which is 10.5%. So check out that, which is available at both locations for takeout and soon to be on draft at both locations. For more details about that and all of their upcoming events, please visit their Facebook page, or to place online orders, visit their website, mccallcollectivebrewing.com. Proud sponsors of the Friday video forecast. So today we have a mostly sunny day. It's going to be milder. So we had snow yesterday. I was dumbfounded. The amount of people were like, why is it snowing, or why are we getting accumulation? I didn't know this was supposed to happen. My app said it wasn't supposed to happen. Quit looking at your apps, okay? I know the app forecasts were wrong yesterday. We had a public map out for this. I don't know how many times we have to say it. We talked about it yesterday's video, and I still have people coming to me saying, "What's going on here?" Look at the stuff we're putting out. We have this information covered. Just because your app doesn't have it doesn't mean it's not happening. So we had some snow, and generally on either side of an inch across most of the area, which is what we kind of expected with that last event yesterday with that clipper system moving off the north. Today, though, is going to be much milder, okay? Milder, and temperatures getting on either side of 40 degrees. You see above me, 36 to 42 is a spread today. So whatever snow you had yesterday should melt, or at least most of it in the non-shaded areas, okay? So they should be able to melt off pretty quickly. I know a lot of schools have delays, at least around the Lehigh Valley where I'm at. So there will be a delayed start to some openings of school today because of the road conditions, but that should burn off pretty quickly. So then clear to partly cloudy overnight, and then Saturday we have a cold front that's going to be moving toward us, and there could be some rain or snow showers with this. This does not look like a big deal. Like I said the last couple days, this is not a big QPF maker, which is quantitative precipitation or liquid equivalent. If you melted all this down, pretend it's all rain everywhere, which some places it will be all rain, but if it's all rain, the liquid equivalent of this is going to be less than 1/10 of an inch. It's not going to be much. We can see that here on the NAM high res future simulated radar. I'm going to start this off 8 o'clock in the morning and move it forward. Still a little cooler in the morning yet, because the overnight lows are going to be tonight in the 20s, so it takes a little bit of time to get back up to close to the 40-degree mark. So as this comes in early afternoon across the Poconos here, far north central Pennsylvania, northeast PA, this could start off as a little bit of like a rain-snow mix up there. Further south, it's just a few showers. But again, this is not much. So maybe somebody gets a coating to an inch up here across the high terrain, and that's just going to go through the afternoon hours, and that's it. Okay, so that's on Saturday, and this stuff here might move a little bit overnight here with some more snow showers. We'll see. For the northern areas across northeast PA. Again, just light snow showers, not a real big deal on Saturday. That cold front is important, though, because it's going to set the stage for this next one. And now, there's a lot of speculation. We've been talking about this past week where, we had one model that was on board yesterday, which was the Canadian model, which was showing a pretty sizable hit to our area. And every single run since then, which runs every 6 hours, has, at least the RGM does, a short-range version of that, has all shown hit after hit after hit after hit, and it hasn't changed. It has not swayed at all. So there's consistency there, but consistency doesn't necessarily mean it's correct, okay? Because a lot of models were out to sea with this yesterday, or just grazing this area southeast of I-95 with some snow in yesterday's video, and now they came back toward a solution that gets at least some accumulating snow across parts of our area here on Sunday. So for a couple days there, they were consistent that it was just going to be those areas and that's it. And then it said, wait a minute, it started moving. Canadian can do the same thing. So there's going to be a couple different solutions. I'm going to show you the extremes on either side, which are both possible. and then show you like the middle ground where like, it's kind of like the gray area in life where most people live, and they don't live in black and white. It's the gray area where most people kind of gravitate toward the middle. Same thing with the models. There's models that are in the middle of that, and it's probably the most sensible solution right now, but doesn't mean that they're going to be right either. All right, so we're going to have this is just models kind of doing knee-jerk reactions to things, and I'll show you what that is. But here's what the European model did this evening. This low moves offshore. This is our cold front that's sitting out here like this. Cold front is all, well, it's not even writing here. Here we go. Cold front is sitting way out here. You got one area of low pressure that's moving ahead of the boundary out here. And then there's going to be right at the tail end of the boundary down here across the southeast U.S. There's going to be an area of low pressure that develops right along the tail of that boundary. And that is what gives us our snow potential on Sunday. Okay, and here's what the European model does. It does, in fact, develop that right here across the southeastern United States near the Carolinas. And it brings snow to at least the eastern portions of a region. Now, in the European model's case, this is not a lot of snow. It's more like a 1 to 3 inch type snowfall, maybe 4 in a few spots, but that's it. That's like the upside that's shown with the European model. But the problem I have with that is it has this thermal gradient, which is the what separates the warm and cold, kind of like up here, and it has a low pressure over here when it should be back over here, according to this. This usually rides along that thermal gradient, and it's a little bit too far east, so it might not be correct with what it's showing here. But at least it's not offshore like it was showing yesterday. It's giving steps in the right direction if you're a snow lover. But then we have we have two different extremes here that I want to show you. One is the RGEM. This is the short range Canadian model that ran this evening, the most recent run. There's the cold front on Saturday. Watch what this thing does. Look how fast this ramps up, and it dumps a lot of snow, heavy snow, into the interior. You got some dark blues and almost purples here over eastern Pennsylvania, except for the far southeastern corner near Philadelphia, which I'd be fine with. Keep that stuff away from Philadelphia. I don't think it's going to happen, though. They're going to get something here on Sunday. Here is the RGM moving up and pretty much nailing all the just northwest of the I-95 cities, with the interior locations getting a pretty good hit of snow on the RGM. Of course, the Canadian regular is the longer range version of that same short range RGEM. This is the Canadian model and is doing almost the same exact thing, hitting the interior northwest of I-95 pretty hard with snow. So that's like the upper extreme. And in this case, you could be dealing with according to this anyway, 8 plus, 8 to 12, maybe higher than that in some places in this particular setup, because this system is really ramped up here. Okay, it is the most ramped up of any of the models that ran. They're usually most of these are showing lows this low here, but it's a lot weaker. Like in the case of the European model, it's only 1,001 millibars, where this is 994 and it's tucked in. Okay, so it's a little bit stronger, more potent, and that's why you're getting the heavier snow on that. Now the other extreme is nothing at all. Nothing at all. That's this right here. This is the NAM. Here's the cold front here on Saturday. Everything's agreeing with Saturday. There's no disagreement there. It's what it does afterwards. As we get this thing to pass, it is so progressive, there's really nothing here. It doesn't really try to form a low until it's way late, and there's absolutely nothing for our area. Nothing at all. So that is a possibility too. Not a good chance, but it's still there. It is something that can't be ignored completely. So you have one. Those are the two extremes, and like I said, we live in the gray area in life. So this is the middle ground. Here's the GFS that ran this evening. This is one of the two middle grounds. One, of course, is this, which is the European model I showed you first, right? The other one is a GFS, which kind of agrees with the same idea that the European model has, just a little bit heavier with the amount of liquid equivalent, which makes the snow heavier. So this is more like a 4 to 8 inch swath across I-95 and the areas surrounding that. So it's kind of targeting the areas from like the Lehigh Valley down through like Lancaster County over to the Philadelphia I-95 corridor and just southeast of there. So that's kind of like its target area for what the biggest areas. And that goes all the way in through central and northern New Jersey. And that's the GFS. This is the same GFS that yesterday was progressive, was offshore. It did now for the third consecutive run show something just like this. So it is showing some kind of consistency here. I am leaning towards something like this in the middle, so that we are going to get something. Is it going to be a big snowstorm that we get 8, 10, 12 inches of snow? Probably not. I think it's more like a 3 to 6, 4 to 8 upside, but we'll see where we go here in the next 24 hours. Actually, less than 24 hours, because we have to put out a first call for this on Friday evening. Was this something we got to? We're going to see what that happens to the overnight guidance, and then the early morning guidance, and then go from there. We might have to go into storm mode, not Godzilla, because it's not a Godzilla type storm, but a regular storm mode. We might have to do here during the day on Friday, announcing the 5 p.m. first call release. If everything starts coming in like this right here, where it's missing and goes back the other direction, which is certainly possible, there will be no storm mode and no first call. Okay, we're just going to wait because it's just a minor event at that point. Now, why are they having this problem? The problem is if I back this up a little bit to today, this piece of energy right here is going to be key to this whole thing. So this is going to just dive down across Utah, northern New Mexico, the panhandle of Texas, and kind of head up in here, and we'll be over Kentucky at some point. The big thing is, how amped is this thing going to be, which is going to amplify the trough and eventually swing this from a positively tilted trough to negative as this is coming in. And you got to dig further south and be a little bit stronger if you want that to happen. What that does is the heights along the eastern seaboard rise in response to that. Okay, so in the case of, this is the Canadian model, that what it's doing, just follow this area right here as I move this forward. You can see this digging down, and it's over New Mexico. See, it's starting to get more amped as it moves further south, and it just really digs this trough and turns it negative right about here. Negatively trough is, the trough axis is like this, but it's kind of like this. So it's a negatively tilted trough, and that is what gets this bigger storm idea here that's tucked in, a little bit more amped. Okay, in the case of the NAM, back this up a little bit. In case of the NAM, I go to the NAM right here at the same time. You see how flat this is? It's not really digging in, and it's not amped. So it's a very flat, progressive trough that allows the cold air to get in faster and just pushes everything out. Okay, so it all comes down to this energy piece, and that is what we're waiting on. And the models are accurately sampling it. It is onshore. It's being sampled. The speed, the strength, all that stuff is being ingested into the model, so they're kind of hedging their bets right now that this is going to be a little bit stronger. Most of them are. The ones that are hitting us with snow are saying, yeah, it's going to dig a little bit more. It's going to be a little bit stronger, so the height should come up a little bit. The thermal gradient and the baroclinic boundary is going to change, be a little bit closer to us. We have some snow out of it. So I am citing, just so we're clear, I am citing that we will get some accumulating snow, probably for the I-95 corridor and points northwest, most notably. Might have a little bit of issues southeast portions as you get close to the shore points, with some mixing or maybe some rain. But do I think it's going to be as big as this Canadian model is showing? I don't know. We'll see. It's possible, just like the NAM's possible that it misses entirely. So we're just gonna look at everything over the next, I'd say, 18 hours before we put everything out publicly for the first call, and then we'll have a final call at 5. That's at 5 p.m. today. 5 p.m. On the weather alerts page. We'll announce on the social media, and then 5 p.m. for the final call on Saturday if needed. Again, this is all predicated on nothing looking like this, because if it looks like this, there won't be a need for it. Okay, I don't think this is going to happen, but stranger things have happened. I'm EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Marchers. That is your outlook for January 17th, 2025. Have a great Friday.